Welcome everyone to Mental Health, and today we are talking about none other than the holidays and family. I feel like that's a lot for one episode, to be honest. um, I am Dino the Genetic Marvel, and above me, of course, is Mr. Cole Clayton, Sniffing Glue 22. I don't know. See, this is the thing: is the holidays in and of themselves are an added pressure. But then on top of that, you have family that you don't always see as much as you're going to see them now. And that is another thing that will break you. What's up, Serge?
Hey, Serge, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, let's start with the holidays themselves. How do you stay cool during the holidays, Cole?
Now, what do you mean by cool?
Well, realistically, there's a lot more work to do, a lot more things happening. So, how do you try and stay calm and collected?
Um, I used to not.
Yeah.
But I think now I'm not even doing anything specific for because it's the holidays. I'm just doing better. Like freaking out just don't help. Nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like what is me losing my shit over gonna do? You
Yeah.
know, besides make the whole situation worse, really.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. The last few things we've been ordering food, and I'm just like, you know what? Because we've tried a couple times to make turkey and make big meals and stuff, and it ends up being a lot of work and it stresses Victoria out. And I'm like, you know what? We do those regularly. Let's just calm down. He sniffs glue. Duh. I mean, no, but that's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it doesn't have to be that big of an issue. You could just like, because growing up for us, it was just an excuse that, well, we can't work, so we're gonna have a family day.
Right. Yeah, you can't go anywhere. You can't go out really. You know what I mean? Because even the fucking places that are open, like other than Denny's, which that's the depressing place.
Yeah.
Everywhere else is just to go only if they're open. You know.
Well, for the longest time, Victoria and I had a tradition where we would go out on Boxing Day, and she would pick
What is Boxing Day?
the day after.
Oh, okay.
Why? Oh yeah, you guys don't have Boxing Day.
I've never heard of it.
What's the day after Christmas?
The day after Christmas.
Do you guys have it off?
Sometimes I don't, but I'm an independent worker, so
Interesting.
most people have like most regular workers have this whole week off.
Yeah.
You
As
know,
they
or
should.
at the very least, they'll have Christmas until the weekend off.
So we have Boxing Day up here, which is like a big sales day. And that so we used to go, we'd be out of the house at 7 o'clock. We'd probably pick up some McDonald's or something.
Y'all gonna get up at 7 o'clock in the morning the day after Christmas? Jesus.
Bro, today I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Jesus, I woke up at like 11:45.
Then we went shopping.
I went to work.
We had reservations for noon, and I'm like, listen, this is going way too fast. See if we can make that earlier. So we ended up eating at this place at like 10:30. It was delicious. The food was fantastic. We felt great afterward.
What kind of food was it?
Chinese dim sum.
Okay. That's what we had Chinese yesterday. We do Chinese food every Christmas.
So that's for the Jewish part of your family. That's fair. Boxing Day
like
is when you
I
fight
don't
your
want to
neighbors.
Who the fuck
No,
wants
it's
to cook on
understandable.
Christmas, you know?
No, totally understandable. And but yeah, so we were out, shopped, got whatever deals they could get, went and ate, and then we're out of the mall by like 12:30, which for me is perfect. We got home, relaxed. We ordered some extra food because Victoria and I are feeling foolish, and that was a mistake. We ate that food. It was delicious, 100% a mistake, and now we're just chilling. But this is the thing is like, so tomorrow even, because a lot of people are like, oh, let's go do some stuff because now it's Christmas is over, so all the kids are at home and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but it's not as fun. It's the same thing with Halloween. It's like getting scared the day after Halloween. You're like, it's not. It doesn't make sense. What's up, Gorilla Tag?
What's up, Gorilla?
I don't know. I like doing stuff. this week, but I'm like, I just like doing normal stuff just because then I don't have to deal with as many people. You know,
What do you mean normal stuff?
like groceries and stuff.
Okay. So the
Like
laundry.
I like
Yeah.
I like the idea of having how we do things, and that doesn't change regardless of what's happening in the world.
See, I think that's the big thing about the holidays, and like you've gone through more than just the holidays. There's like a
Yeah,
specific. This is a specific ordeal going
yeah,
on, but I think like as a man,
mm,
you've done so much to kind of carve a home out of a place. Like you're not really a homemaker, you're a provider, but you've
yeah,
done so much work to provide for specific people. And then the holidays come around, and you got all these people in your house, or you're not at your house. You know what I mean? Like it's just a
yeah.
whole like it's just I do feel like the cigar it's a Perdomo. It's
Breakdown.
it's kind of a cheaper Dominican. Um But I think that's what I don't wanna go so far as saying the holidays are emasculating, but it does take you out of your
Element.
yeah, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like
yeah, because everybody wants homemade this and handmade that, and you're just like, you want to just have some food? How about that? Just come over and relax, have a few drinks, enjoy yourself. Don't be a weirdo, you know. Which I feel like that would be enough, but no. Queso, I don't know what that means. Is it girl?
Queso no, it's Perdomo.
Perdomo.
Queso,
Okay,
I believe is a type of cigar.
I don't know.
No, I don't spend top dollar on cigars. I'm not Andrew Tate here. Like if I get a top dollar cigar, a baby's being born or something, or
Ah.
an enemy has died.
An
Like,
enemy has died. I'm gonna celebrate with a fancy cigar.
right, I'm at their
Oh, it's absolutely reasonable. Yeah. No, I've see this is the thing is that I I like a couple times we celebrated Friendsgiving where we just had friends over for Thanksgiving because everyone's family was doing their own thing,
right.
and that was an enjoyable experience. But yeah, it's been like I like the idea of the holidays, but I'm like I don't take it. I don't want people to be like, oh, I spend so much time in the kitchen. Be like, bro, you could have ordered pizza. It's just an excuse for me to hang out. Like I don't really care about that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, because there's some people that are like overly stressed out about shit that doesn't need to be stressed out. Have you ever caught on to that a little bit?
oh yeah, like there's and this is the problem is that if the holidays are stressing you out, number one, you didn't take the time to prepare. Happens to the best of us. Don't worry about it. Number two, nobody really cares. Like
Right.
this is one of those things that I told Victoria, I'm like, can you tell me when a wedding you've gone to where you're like, wow, did you see the cutlery and the tablecloth on that hotel like at that wedding?
Right.
Never. Never in a million years has anyone said that. Even when they spend extra money, well, all they talked about were the food and the music. That's it. And oh, did you get one of their cool specialty drinks or whatever? That would be another thing. Aside from that, nobody cares.
I feel
You know?
like I would just be a married in Vegas type of person.
I yes, I get it. At the same time, like even I explained to Victoria that I'm like, yeah, oh, I didn't get married because I needed to get married. I get married because I didn't want to deny her that experience either, right?
Mm.
Because it should be a wonderful experience to get married. All I got was Christmas dinner and I ate way too much. I mean, yeah. We ordered Christmas food and it was so much food, but it was so good. It's very
We did breakfast at about 12:30.
nice. I used to I
After opening presents.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, we did eggs, sausage, bacon,
yeah.
and pancakes. And then yeah, 5 6 hours later, we're like, let's start ordering Chinese. You know what I mean? So even though we did technically cook, it was easy cooking. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
I see, and I'm a big fan of like when I first got married and I was an old person, I would invite people over for New Year's Day, like people who had kids and none of us were going out, and I would make like a massive breakfast, and it would be, what kind of eggs you want? I'll make them right now. Okay, what kind of, do you want pancakes? Okay, do you want this? And I would do like a big, like a roasting pot, like filled with just apples and sugar and butter, and just like it would just roast there for hours, and you could just walk up and grab like a spoonful of like just caramelized apples.
Throw some sausage in there. Let it
Oh,
cook in the
oh,
apples.
now that I know what I know, and I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? I would do half of the food in that one pot, just have it going all day.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Yeah. And we're talking about, bro, I would make one of those, you know, those big round, like the oval ones that are like black and they're white speckled, like those old school roasting pots. I would use that, and it would be like heaping, like we could barely close it because it was filled with apples. By the time it was all roasted down, it was like that, just a thick sludge of apple goo at the bottom. It was so good.
I've
I would just
smoked
do rows
so
and
many
rows.
cigars, this week.
This is the thing: is a cigar is a whole experience that's going to take some time. So you kind of just, you're like, I'm doing this right now. I'm doing a thing. I found the same thing with smoking a pipe. Was it's not a 1-2 pump, 5-minute thing. No, I'm going to be out here for half an hour having a smoke on my pipe. Just leave me alone, right? Whereas a cigarette, 5 minutes.
That's kind of why I hate being a cigar guy during the wintertime, especially because a lot of times you gotta go outside and it's cold as fuck, and you're gonna sit out there and just smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
But it is a reason. This is why you should get into smoking cigars, because it is a reason to get away from the people you don't want to get away with for a while. Because then they're gonna be like, "Where's so and so? Oh, he's outside smoking a cigar. He'll be back in like an hour."
I mean, I smoke filtered cigars. I understand that. You know what? The worst thing I saw was I went to a cigar. It was International Cigars in Pennsylvania, and the upstairs you could go and just smoke your cigar, and it was cool. And they didn't serve any food there, but there was a Red Robin, I think, across the street that you could had a deal with a manager, and they would just like run food over.
That's what's up.
But the problem was there was this one fucking guy who, as soon as I saw him, I was like, I don't like being in your presence. He had a pipe and a cigar sticking out the end of his pipe, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, this just completely disrespectful.
That's too much.
It's just too much.
So, sir,
and it wasn't even like a stubby one, bro. It was like 8 inches of cigar sticking out of his pipe. You're like,
that's too much.
What are you doing?
Carrillo DeVille.
Yeah. And you're just like, this ridiculous.
Cigarillo DeVille.
Yeah, Cigarillo DeVille, basically.
Serge, explain these filtered cigars. I don't think I've ever seen one.
What's up, Logan? How are you? I don't know. See, and that's the thing is, I'm like, I like the process of it, like the walk out for 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go for a smoke. And the problem is now people are like, oh, Dino's outside. I'll go do stuff outside. I'm like, no, just leave me. No, you go inside. I'm going inside, so you don't do it.
$1.44 a pack. Oh, you do. Oh, okay, all right, I got you. The Black and Milds, gotcha.
But yeah.
But that's the downside of being such a personable, like, funny guy.
People always are like, hey, you want to hang out? Like, no, I don't. I don't want to do anything.
I didn't realize that as I got into comedy.
Yeah.
As I don't really consider myself much of a comedian now, but I was in the industry a little bit.
Yeah.
And I started to realize that the funniest people are actually like very, very introverted and don't like people.
Mm-hmm.
So like if somebody's being hilarious at the gathering, like the regular not at a comedy thing, but at a gathering at home, at a family event or something like that,
yeah,
leave them alone or her. Like,
yeah, leave them alone. That's it. It's what Marco smokes, I guess. Yeah. See, this is the thing. Like, even if we're hanging out, I'll fucking make everyone laugh, no problem.
Yeah, same.
Like, hey, do you want to have a conversation? I'm like, no, that's why I was funny. I don't. Yeah,
I did my part.
I did my part. I made everybody laugh. Leave me alone now.
Because that's what it's like. It's like people are like, he's funny, and I can't be alone with myself.
Yeah.
So let me go use him. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck away from
Oh,
me.
and that's like because you had mentioned it before, the whole idea of having a social battery where you're like, oh yeah, I'll go up and I'll talk shit on stage. And then afterward, I will just leave out a side door and not talk to anybody. Just leave. Just
Yeah, I don't do the
Yeah.
after parties. I never did.
couple
I
of
mean,
people are like,
hell,
"Do you want to hang out?" I'm
I
like,
mean,
"No."
you see how I do. That's not that's not the first time when you came with me, or
Yeah.
I guess I came with you
The grog shop.
to
Or
St. Patty's Day.
oh yeah,
That's not the first time where I almost beat somebody's ass. It's not the first time I almost beat that person's ass.
that's
So
fair
I'm not
point.
even. It's not even that I have a social battery. I'm just not a friendly guy. I'm not.
No, no, that's fair. I see, and that's the wild thing is that you're like, I don't understand how like we've said it. You have a very punchable face and a very punchable personality. His is worse, and you're like, that's alarming. It's just a
Why am
thing.
I? Why is my face punchable? I don't get it.
Oh, you got nice hair, and you look like your nose is straight. I'd be like, oh yeah, I definitely want to wreck that.
So it's just jealousy, then, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
basically. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think that makes me punchable.
I
Because
don't know.
doesn't being fat kind of help me though? I'm a little fat. I'm a little
A little,
chubby.
it does. But then you're
I
like,
could
he
see if
couldn't
I was
even do
like
anything. He
shredded.
couldn't. Yeah, if you were ripped, you'd be like, oh no, I'm gonna definitely mess up that guy's face. That's 100%. At least being fat, you're like, well, he's not like he could do anything. He's fat, so it's fine. We'll just punch him, and there's nothing you can do. No, see, this is.
Don't underestimate me.
I won't just underestimate you. I overestimate myself, sir. Just to be very clear.
Fair enough. Isn't that what underestimating somebody else is? It's just overestimating yourself.
Yeah, I think we do that a lot though too, right? Where we're like, oh yeah, I got this, and you're like, I do not. I did not have.
Oh,
that.
I definitely do that.
Oh
I do
yeah,
that all the time.
you did that half the time we were driving around, and you're like, ah, what is that rain? It'll be fine. Lightning, oh god! And then it was all hell broke loose. So,
Well, I didn't know it was gonna be like the storm of death. It just came out of nowhere. Like
I'll be honest. We were on a bridge.
crossing a big ass bridge. I'm getting like notifications on my phone talking about weather advisory. Blah blah. I'm like, why couldn't you tell me this like 30 seconds ago?
And me, what's up, babe? Pedro, Augusta, how are you? I mean, at the same time, I definitely felt like I was like, I kind of want to just crack the window, see what's going on inside. But it was, yeah, it was entertaining. That was.
I don't like lightning.
Good night to you too, sir. Did you come just say hi and good night?
Later.
I understand. But yeah, no, that's why I feel like there's a lot of things that people put into, especially around the holidays. Like, oh, we got to make sure we clean the house. Be like, hey, you know what's easier? Having a decently clean house. You'll be fine. Which I got to work on because my house is a mess. But it's like now we're starting to get extra room, and we're gonna just be throwing some stuff out. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, no problem. It's very manageable, you know. But
manageable from the Latin word manus.
No, it's not. Oh,
and
that's a horrible segue. But yeah, that's fair. See, this is the thing too. Is I think that holidays assume it's a woman that can make holidays nice. They put extra effort into like wreaths and shit like that, which I don't think is very fair.
I just don't think that any like if there was only a holiday with dudes, none of that would be there, and it would still like Christmas would still happen. You mean all that wrapping and that like could you imagine a holiday with just dudes? How that a Christmas with just dudes? How that would go? It would just be I got you a gift. Like it wouldn't be wrapped. It would probably still have the price sticker on it.
Yeah,
like it probably.
And you're like, hey, there's a receipt.
In case you wanted to return it.
I folded up the receipt and tucked it in the box, so it's right there. No problem.
In case it's like not the right size, or you just don't like it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want with it. I tried.
Absolutely. I feel like there's this is the thing too, is because it's not like it wouldn't be consumer productive, but it would not be all the extra stuff like all the decorative bags and the decorative paper and then the ribbon and then I had to buy cards and what?
You're spending like an extra like 40% of whatever the gift is just because of all the other shit you buy.
I would do this. I would put it in a bag, put some tissue paper on top, and go, here you go. There you go. That's for me. Like, oh, and I can reuse the bag. Sure, go for it. That's
Like the
whatever.
only reason I have a Christmas tree is because I found it by the dumpster. Somebody threw it away in the middle of July, like 2 years ago. I was like, I'm gonna be using
That's
this
on
this year.
Oh yeah, that's on them. That's yeah.
It's fully functioning. It had all the parts, everything. All I had to do was get my own lights and ornaments and star and everything. And now, since I got all that, I don't have to buy anything else again. You know what I mean? Like,
Beautiful.
why would and that whole thing where you go and cut down your own tree and all that shit? That's cool once.
Yeah.
To do with your kid or whatever. After
Sure.
that, you don't have to do it every year. A real tree that's gonna leave fucking spiky. You can't walk around barefoot in your own home for
No.
an entire month.
And if you had like a field of trees and you had land and stuff like that, like, oh, I can understand that being a tradition.
Right.
For everybody else, no. Get the fuck out of here. Victoria has a plastic one. It comes down. We open it up. This
That's
year
what I
we're
got.
not.
A plastic
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's fine. All it comes lights already attached. There's a few extra bit bobs we'll throw on there, and then plug it in, and there you go. Wow, it's amazing.
Ooh.
It seems like a lot, right? I see. I'm always, and you know, this has been coming up the last few weeks. Is the whole idea that food unites us? Like that's the one thing everyone is willing to get together for good. Because think about it. Oh,
Especially in North American culture.
Oh yeah, we're a bunch of
Because
greedy
it's mostly
guys.
European culture. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. But there's
food's a big thing over there in Europe. Everywhere else in the world, they don't even really have it. So
yeah, bunch of starving bastards. Yeah, no, it's always been it's festival is good food, always good food. That's the one thing that I've always been like, it's always the food and whatever extra stuff you have.
How is it that the coldest countries in the world have the most abundance of food? Isn't that weird?
What do you mean?
Well, food has a hard time growing in the winter.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's the cold countries that have all of the resources to make food happen.
Well, let's be honest, is because we have to work to get heating. That's basically where I got to get that heat. I can't.
Yeah, we're gonna freeze to death.
We're gonna die. Whereas, think about it.
I will say, living in Texas, I was much lazier. I got up here in Cleveland and I started slowly
Oh yeah,
building up the like motivation. Being hot is the most it just like takes the spirit right out of you. You're just like, it's so hot. Like
immediately. I'm like, yeah, no, there's certain levels of heat where you're like, oh, I'm not doing anything today. They're like, oh, but we had plans. And I'm like, yeah, but it's so hot. Like, you can't do anything. I'm just gonna stand here and do nothing. It's ridiculous. Like, we could go for a walk. I'm like, what? Have you seen outside? It's crazy.
Or when you're cold, you just stay moving. Like, you have to move to not freeze to death. You know what I mean? So you might as well just get going.
Yeah. No, it's a different difference. And that's the thing too, is like in the winter time and it's cold outside, I can eat a big meal and then go for a little walk outside. I'm like, oh, it'll wake me up because it's the cold air. It helps digestion, all those things. During the summertime, you eat and you're like, I'm just gonna sit here and die. I don't need.
Dude,
don't touch me. Don't breathe on me.
I can't eat any like if I've been out in the hot weather.
Yeah.
The last thing I want is a warm meal. Like, get that thing away from me.
Oh yeah.
Give me a slushy or something.
That's always been where people are amazed because I'm like, I'll eat an entire steak, and they're like, "Aren't you hot?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm overheating right now, but I'm gonna eat that steak."
No, I lose a lot of weight during the summertime. I lose a lot of weight during the summertime. I guess that's normal, but
I've been just trying not gain weight during this winter time.
Oh, I
'Cause
put on. I
I
stepped on a
bulk.
scale.
Yeah.
Yes, the day before yesterday, 2 days ago, and it's like 278. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, like, no.
Which I'm just trying not to get fat.
Well, now
Trying
the
to
holidays are mostly over. I'm gonna get back into my routine
Yeah,
of
yeah.
exercising and trying to eat better. But like this whole ever since Thanksgiving, because like I just had so many things going on, so much shit just like happened.
Yeah.
Um, that I just kind of like I was like, fuck all this. I'm gonna deal with that, and then
Yeah.
could didn't have the energy to work out, didn't have the energy to eat right. You know what I mean? I was trying to be cheap too, so that I could buy Christmas presents, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
eating a lot of McDonald's off the not the dollar menu, but essentially that's what it is nowadays. It's the $4 menu.
Well, you know what? But there's they brought the snack wrap. That's fair. I get it.
Never
It's
really ate that thing. I didn't give a fuck about that. Just bring back the dollar menu. That's what I want.
Oh yeah. The fact that the dollar menu doesn't exist anymore is just such bullshit.
At least make it a hamburger.
Yeah.
If you can't sell the double cheeseburger for $1 anymore, fine. But like a cheeseburger, little
A
fucking
ham I remember
essentially 2 sliders.
a hamburger was 79 cents and cheeseburger was 99 cents. I remember that.
You're old.
I'm old, bro. I'm old. Those were
I
the times.
remember I remember w when lunch was $5.
Yeah.
Like a full lunch, burger, fries, and a drink.
Yeah.
That which I don't feel like was that long ago.
And when it
I
was
feel like this
over
was a
5, you
couple
were
years
like,
ago.
"Oh, what'd you get? You got extra?" But yeah,
Yeah, you got it was like $5.99, you got like an apple pie with it. You
sure.
fat ass.
Yeah, you're like, "Why are you such a fatty?" Like, they offered me pie. I took
Now
it.
now you get cheeseburger and fries and a drink, that's like 12, $13, bro.
Bro, somebody was saying how they bought food at Five Guys, and it was like 3
Oh,
burgers, fries, and drinks, and they were like, it was $84. You're
yeah,
like,
dude,
Get the
it's
fuck out of here."
ridiculous.
Yeah,
My brother, worked there for a couple years, so I go in there I got to eat for free,
yeah,
but, they would still ring up the ticket or whatever
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then do the whole fucking family meal or whatever the fuck, and I would look at the ticket and be like, I would get a double cheeseburger, their Cajun fries, and a fountain drink, and that shit was like $35. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but let's get the hell out of here.
Now,
That's so
mind you, that was
crazy.
when gas was like $5. So, five
Yeah,
dollars a gallon a couple years ago. Was it 2022? The
yeah.
peak of inflation?
Peak of bullshitflation. Yeah.
Dude, when gas was $5, I was not okay. I'll tell
No.
you that much.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. When you start to realize you're like, "What the hell is going on here?" Right? That's why I'm so happy when we have, like, light weeks where we don't really go out or anything, and it's like, "Ooh, we go to Costco to fill up our tank," and I'm like, "It was only $50. Nice." Because if we're out every day, I'm like, our tank of gas lasts about a week, and then it's like, $97. You're like, that hurts."
Dude, I put gas in my car every day.
Jesus.
Every day. It's a routine.
Yeah, well, you drive, right?
Oh,
That
yeah, I
makes
drive anywhere between 100 and 200 miles a day.
Jesus, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kinda
I
have
get an
you have
oil change once a month.
Yeah, I need to take my car for an oil change. I remember when
Usually about the first week of the month, right around rent is when I get an oil change.
I remember when an oil change at Walmart was 19.99.
That wasn't that long ago either for me because I was
Mm,
getting $20 oil changes up until like 2018.
yeah,
Now it's like 60 fucking dollars.
which is insane. This is what I don't understand is, like, the fact that if you do extra for the holidays to have people over, the fact like, one of my big things, I'm like, I really have a hard time going somewhere without stuff in my hand, right? Like, whether it's booze or a dessert or an appetizer or something, tell me what I can bring. And they're like, "Oh, don't bring anything." I'm like, "Okay." So I had to have this conversation. Say, "Listen, I'm not coming empty handed. So I can offer you, I could bring booze, I could bring dessert, but I'm bringing something. So it might as well be something that goes with your evening. Otherwise, I'm just going to buy whatever I want and eat it. And they're like, no, don't do that. I'm like, okay, there you go. They're like, how about booze
I
and
have a
dessert?
different look on it. I'm bringing me, the life of the party.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I like to bring booze, and then people are like, oh, we'll crack it open right now, which I'm like, that's fine. And some people will squirrel it away because I usually bring them something nice. And I'm like, yeah, give me your shit wine and you can drink this on a special occasion. It's fine. Whatever.
No, that's why you gotta bring something cheap so they'll crack it open. Because I don't want I want some of whatever I brought, bro. That's why I brought it.
The idea that people would hesitate to like, do you want to open this right now? I'll be like, yeah, that's why I brought it. So I could drink it.
Yeah, I was just some type of way I brought something expensive and then I didn't get any of it. Like I know I brought it for you, but
I brought
it put away, you dick.
Yeah. You can save some of it.
For you specifically, and only you specifically, it would have came in gift wrap.
Yeah, yeah. That's where I like to be like, hey, I brought this for us to enjoy, not for you. Like, and you can squirrel some extra away. That's fine. But I'm definitely having some of that. Just FYI. You know, if you don't offer me my own booze that I brought, oh, we're gonna have a problem.
There's a new law that they're trying to push in Ohio because evidently there's like a bottling I don't want to say plagiarism. I'm trying to think of the word. There's like a black market of people like making fake bottles of liquor.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to pass a law where if you buy a liquor bottle that's over a certain amount, I think like $80 or something like that, the liquor store has to break the seal. At the store when you buy it.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm like, who the fuck cares about counterfeit alcohol bottling? The only people who care about that shit is the companies, the big companies. And I'm so over corporate elitism being protected all the time. When I send my kid to school every day, hoping it's not his last day on this earth. You know what I mean?
All right. Liberal tears. It's fine. Calm down.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying get rid of guns, but it's like, why are the kids gotta be in fear all day? But the fucking rich CEOs don't have to feel the same fear.
Oh, I definitely agree with you there that it should be apples for apples, right?
Right.
But, yeah. That's why I explained to Victoria that I'm like, oh, when we're driving in the States, you don't make eye contact with other people.
Yeah, because y'all are outgunned for sure.
Yeah, we're outgunned. And I'm like, listen, if I had a gun, okay, yeah, sure, look whoever you want, I'll shoot him. I don't give a shit.
I would definitely get behind a law where if you can pass a background check as like a tourist into our country, you should be able to rent a gun for the duration.
Yeah, that'd be top tier. I'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
Take it to the gun range. That should be an American thing. Foreigners should be able to go to the gun range and make it. That should be like a tourist attraction. You just shoot a gun.
There's a gun range up by us where you don't need a license, but you have to go through a safety course and stuff. But it'll be more than you've ever done.
You don't need a license there to go to a gun range. You don't even need your gun. You can use one of theirs. This is just a fee.
Yeah. No, but they have that up here. We went we've gone a couple times, but then we went during my bachelor party too. And I'm like, bro, yeah. I shot. Yeah, it was so good. And the funny thing is, the guy who looked the most hardcore of us all was like afraid of guns. And I'm like, that's so weird to me. He's even like light, like a small, like 44. And I'm like, all right. He was like, oh man. And I'm like, what?
The dude who killed the CEO is like a flaming liberal.
Yeah.
It's actually liberals that be shooting places up most of the time.
Well, you heard that there was a school shooting and it was a girl just recently.
Yeah, I did hear that. I didn't look into it much though.
Yeah, it was about girls. Yours.
I should have, because if I wanted to be like, finally, it's not
Yeah.
just us.
Women in men's jobs. It's
Oh,
fine.
it's not us. It's not
Yeah.
just us white guys.
Yeah. You're like violent criminal. Please, not a white guy. It's fine. Good. No, I get it. This is the weird part about this whole time is that recently there's been a bunch of robberies that are happening in my city, and it's a bunch of guys, a bunch of, I'm assuming, teenagers will run into a jewelry store with hammers and just like break everything and just take whatever they can and run away. And you're just like, what the fuck is happening right now? You're like, and nobody does anything, and you're just like, this is
It's the liberalization of all the countries around the world. And I don't even want to say, I don't even want to blame Democrats or whatever. It's like that. It's the deep state, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because that doesn't capture it either. But like the Kamala Harris's and the Joe Bidens and the Justin Trudeau's and
yeah.
The Dick Cheneys and all that, the George Bushes, all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all connected to the New World Order, because it's like what was the dude's name in the UK, the prime minister there for a while, Boris Johnson. They're all the same.
Yeah.
They're all this. They have the exact same politics all across the country. Or I'm sorry, the world.
Yeah.
And nobody fucking finds that odd. And the only people who don't have a similar view of them are China and Russia.
And
You
they're
know
the
what I mean?
enemy. They're
And
100%
they're
the enemy.
enemy, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Bro, you know
other
what?
than made Argentina. Is he a prime minister or is he president? The Malay,
Prime
Malay,
Minister.
or however
Yeah.
you pronounce his name.
Yeah, and he's balanced their books, fired a bunch of people, and doing
Right, they're
great.
making him out to be a bad guy in the media too. Like they're kind of making him out to be like a dictator. And
Yeah.
the way I look at it, he's kind of more of a Trump-like character. You know,
the funniest is that the Department of Governmental Efficiency, the new
Doge.
yeah.
Doge.
So there's a guy who I follow on TikTok who's trying to say that they're the Gestapo, that the Gestapo was the original government efficiency department. You're like, no, they weren't.
What is the Gestapo? Can you explain that?
The Gestapo was during Nazi Germany. They would go in, like they would go into your house and looking for like spies. Okay. And this guy is like, yeah, the Gestapo was basically the Department of Government Efficiency. You guys just don't understand.
But we already have a Gestapo.
Yeah,
it's
the CIA.
The NSA.
NSA, CIA, FBI, all of
the CIA doesn't just like come
LGBTQ, all of them. They're all spies.
The NSA doesn't need to come into your house because they have access to your computer if you get it online. You know what I mean? So that's the Gestapo. That's what that is.
Yeah. All of it. It's that's the idea that people have this thing. They're like, I have privacy. No, you don't.
No, not if you're on the internet.
Nope. If you are on the internet, you don't. And look, hey, just mention a few things around your phone over the next 3 days and see if you start getting ads. That's simple. And you realize, oh,
say some real specific stuff and see if the feds come knocking on your door. You know what I mean? Like, you'll learn.
Oh, you'll learn real quick. And when they come to your door and you're like, can you come outside? And you're like, no, I don't want to come outside. They're like, well, we're going to need you to come inside. I don't want to come inside. I'm safe inside my house. Thank you.
I think it should be against the law for the police to be able to come in your house unless there's reasonable belief that you have kidnapped somebody.
Okay, but this is the whole idea is that
if you own the property. Now, I have an apartment. They should be allowed to come in mine. But if you own your property, which is also probably why nobody owns property anymore. But
yeah, well, that was originally the thing, right? Like the only people that could owning property in and of itself is a new thing, right? Up until 200-300 years ago, the only people that owned property were royalty
kings,
or people who are extremely wealthy and very well connected, and they would be gifted property that then they had to pay taxes on, right? Because remember, throughout history, it has not been what you could buy, it's what you can keep.
Well,
is what
yeah,
my
you were considered like a lord, which was like kind of like a step down from a king.
Yeah.
If you own property, and it was more. It wasn't like you owned the property. It was like you were responsible for it and the people on it.
You were responsible to make that land productive.
Right.
And in turn, you had to pay for that privilege to whoever the person in power was. Yeah, it's just the thing. And that's why like people the idea that people are like, I have rights. You're like, no, you don't. Nobody does. You have rights that have been suspended temporarily, some indefinitely, just because of well, we're at war. We don't have the time to follow with the rules.
That's a big thing with people too. Is like that's why it's important to lift weights and
Yeah.
exercise and stay in decent shape for as long as you can, as a man especially,
Yeah.
because a lot of people are in this weird realm of thinking that you have rights and that they can't just be stripped away at any time. They
Yeah.
can. That's what rights are. They're man-made. They're made up and they're written down on a piece of paper, and people can just disregard them whenever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
the only rights you have in the world is what you can take with your bare hands. You know what I mean? What you can make happen. That's the only you have the right to I don't even know, like, you have the right to try to be able to breathe. That's it. Try to breathe. That's it. That's all you have.
look,
As long
this
as you're
is
breathing, you can
yeah.
continue trying to build a better life for yourself. But until you don't even have the right to breathe because
Yeah,
somebody can take that from you. You know what I mean?
that's right. Look, it comes down to this whole idea where people are like, oh, we have polite society. No, we don't. We do not. You're trying. You've been. It's and I hate using this word like this, but it's the feminization of society. We're like, no, we have to use words. You're like, no, I don't have to use words. Trust me, words are the last things you want to see because I'll mess you up with those two. That that's why. And so often you're just like, yeah, just leave me alone. I just don't want to get involved. I've had a couple people who are like, oh, you want to go?
That is what bothers me too.
Yeah.
Is like the whole violence is never the answer spiel, because what bothers me about that is it's beta males and bitches that are saying stuff like that and they
Yeah.
mean it, but
Sure.
they don't realize that you're taking away my greatest tool
Yeah.
and you're still using yours, which
That's
is
right.
sneakiness.
Yeah.
If you have the right to be sneaky still, why don't I have the right to be violent? You know what I mean? Because
Well,
violence is way more effective.
the only reason those rules are in play is because you can't play in them. You
All right,
have to. You have to. Oh, no,
you're
we can't.
handicapping me.
We can't deal with violence. Oh no, you can't. I can.
Right,
I can actually very easily without hesitation.
right.
Right.
And worse comes to worse, I can't and I die.
Yeah. If I can't, that's the way I want to go. That's
Right,
fine. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But this sneaky bullshit,
Oh, and
I
that's
hate
that's
that
why.
shit, man.
Oh, no, we have to play by my rules. Why? Because then I'm good at it. No, that's not how life works. Sorry. And this is the frustrating part is like there was a statement that we made before was how many people over the age of 80 do you see that weighed over 200 pounds? You're like, yeah, that's not a thing.
Right.
But then it's like, how many people over the age of 60 do you see that can't also do a sit up? Right. You're like those people are dropping like flies, and you're like that's the whole thing, right? You should be in better shape because it's better for you to be in better shape.
Right.
That's the whole, right?
Well, most people who work on their core regularly survive they call it like miracles. They survive shit that they should not be alive for
Yeah,
in the opinions of doctors, but it comes down to the fact that they took care of their core. Like Kevin Hart was one of them. He was in a really bad car accident where the
yeah,
car flipped and it broke his back. This was in 2020. Um, and the doctors said, "Yeah, you should be dead." But because he still to this day constantly works on his core, and his
Yeah.
chest and everything, he's alive. Working on your core will actually keep you alive in situations you shouldn't be. It'll keep you. It'll actually improve your immune system. Everything.
Yeah. Well, this is the problem is that even at my weight where I'm like, I'm still fat, people are like, you're in great shape. I'm like, no, I'm not. Because
I
I'm
hate that too. I hate that too. That's that fucking body positivity shit. I
Oh,
can't stand that, man.
oh, you look great. No, I don't.
No.
I don't. I look acceptable level of fat.
I also hate how, and I'm trying not to be like pat myself on the back necessarily, but this is true. This is just unbiased truth. I
Yeah.
hate how attractive I am to women, knowing how out of shape I am. It bothers me. I'm like, why? You bitches have no standards. Like,
That's fair. It's okay. Hey, but I'm in the same way where I'm like, now that I've lost 250 pounds, and I'm like, I feel like women should be throwing themselves at me just for the fun of it. And I could be like, oh, no, I'm loyal to my wife. Sorry.
are they throwing
It's like,
themselves at you?
I'm still invisible. Thank you very much. I am, essentially, I'm
Well,
only visible to men, and men go, oh, you're big. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Like,
you know what though? That's on you though, because you waited too long to get into good shape. You're getting old, man, and it's not even that
old.
you are old. You just look old.
I
You
look
know what I
old.
mean? Like, got all
I
that
do.
gray hair.
I want to get lean, and then I'm gonna shave my beard and have people be like, what the fuck just happened? Because I'll drop, like, without my beard, I drop like 10 years of age.
And probably an extra pound too.
Oh yeah.
That's a pound of beard right there.
Yeah.
You put my beard to shame, and people always compliment me on my beard. That's the funny thing.
Bro, when I was working at the haunted house, people will be like, that is a majestic beard. And I'm like, thank you.
Didn't you shave it for Halloween? I thought.
No, I shaved it afterward.
Why? Why grow
I
so
just
fast? What the fuck?
I just trimmed it. And like now I trimmed it where it's more full down here. So because I'm just trying to grow it out to look good. So it has some shape.
Did you ever like research how to like trim it? Because I started getting into that, and now I'm starting to trim it in a way that makes my jaw look more like
Yeah,
sharp.
yeah. So it's you just trim downward and then you just sculpt it.
Yeah, so what I do is I go straight down. It's almost like boxing. Go straight down on the sideburn area, the stuff that's like on my face, and then here when it starts to touch my chin, I go like a half angle.
Yeah.
And then here I keep this longer, and I trim this straight across, and it makes it look more chiseled.
That's one of the things that is so messed up. One of the guys from Good Mythical Morning, he has like no chin, so he grows a great beard, zero chin. Like it's
That's what you got to do. If you don't have a chin, you need a beard. I do have a little bit of a chin, but I'm fat. You know what I mean? Like I got a round face. You know.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm like, my face is the squarest it's been in my entire life right now. Like I have dimples and everything, and I'm just like, all right, well, so I'm tempted to shave everything off, but I'm gonna do it when if I have 6 abs, I'm gonna shave my beard off, and then watch people go, oh, you're back in your 30s, and I'm like, no, I'm still.
It's so weird when you're in your 50s and just ripped.
Yeah, that's my
that's like Joe Rogan.
That's basically what I'm going.
But you look 70 inevitably.
Yeah. Be like, you look great for your age. I'm like, I'm actually only 50. They're like, oh my god, you look horrible. You're like, yeah, thank you. Yeah. The only chance I have is now to amaze them with feats of strength. And just be like, look like I'm 1,000, but I can still do a somersault. Look at me. You know?
And you know what drives me crazy is that like I'm starting to look my age, maybe even a little bit older lately, and people think that I'm my mom's boyfriend or husband all the time. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I don't. People mistake me for her boyfriend or husband all the time.
Oof. That's a tough one.
They're like,
and the
they're
worst
like,
part is your mom will encourage that, be like, ha 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 ha, and you're like, no, please
no,
don't.
she doesn't. But like, the thing is like we bicker in public,
Yeah, you do.
and people are like, y'all are such a nice, sweet couple. What couples do y'all hang out with? We're not getting along at all, for one. Secondly, I'm her son. Like,
as long as they're verbally assaulting each other, they're not domestically assaulting each other, and that makes it okay. That's fine. Yeah.
right.
I don't know, man. This is the thing: is that family are the only ones that can get you the best. Like they can get you when you're at you're most unguarded, and you're like, son of a bitch, right? Well, but that's the hard part, is that I like the idea that people are establishing boundaries for family members. Like, well, we're family, but like, yeah, but you treat me like shit, so I don't want to talk to you. Like, they're like, what? What do you mean? Man? Like, yeah, you treat people like shit, and I don't want to talk to you. Like, oh, that's rude. So is how you talk to people. That's why
I
I
don't
don't want
even
to talk
do
to
that. I just don't talk to them. Like, I don't
you.
talk to any of my extended family because they're all assholes.
I've had people try and call me on it, and I have had, because I will do that and just be like, I'll just avoid that person because I don't want to have to deal with it. And then people are like, why are you avoiding me? I'm like, because I don't like you as a person, and I don't want to spend my personal time with you. What? Like, yeah. And they're like, why would you say that? I'm like, well, why would you just respect my wishes of not hanging out with you? And you have to involve yourself. Get the fuck out of here.
My favorite thing they say is they'll like reach out to me on social media, and they'll be like, I haven't heard from you in forever. And I'll be like, well, a phone call works two ways, and then they're like, well,
what I like to do is I like to enact little strengths, so that, like, if when your birthday comes up, I'll look at it and I'm like, number one, if I can't post on your main page, I'm not wishing you a happy birthday. That's not gonna happen. Then if I do click on a message and the last thing that I wish, the last time I talked to you was me saying happy birthday, so there's no you saying happy birthday back to me, you're no longer being messaged. And I'm like, oh, if I haven't seen any interaction from you, I'm not gonna, unless I know you.
If you didn't wish me a happy birthday, I'm not wishing you a happy birthday. That's for starters.
Absolutely not.
Also, I usually will text people, or if for whatever reason I don't have their number. Like, for whatever reason I don't have your number. And I've been afraid to ask because I'm cheap and it's international. I don't know if it's gonna cost me anything.
No, we'll just use WhatsApp. It's cheap. It's free.
I'm not downloading an app to talk to you.
WhatsApp is so much easier to use, just an FYI, but it's fine.
I don't even know. I've never had it. So what? That's some fucking that's not even poor people shit. That's some fucking like Russian fucking spy shit. Like, oh, you download WhatsApp? No, I'm not downloading shit. So you can fucking put spyware on my phone, and then when I run for office, they're gonna be like, oh, you're a fucking you're a sellout to the fucking foreigners.
I mean, that's probably gonna happen regardless. That's not on you. That's in general.
I mean, yeah, I do have some communist views.
I mean, it's fine. The funny thing is, they're like, "Oh, you guys are a socialist state up here." You're like, much worse. Much worse than that. It's horrible.
How do we get on this? We didn't even get, like, we're kind of trying to stay on it. Like, I don't talk to my family. Was the part. But
we got on this because life is weird that way, and everyone in our comment section is like, "Ooh, I don't want to talk about this." Like, yeah, no, that's fair.
I think everybody left. Yeah, everybody's like, I don't want to talk about this shit.
Yeah, this is horrible. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, no. It's a weird time of the year because you see a lot of people, and I used to make a point of wishing people Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, no, I don't really care. Like, if I haven't hung out with you, I'm not going to wish you a happy birthday. It seems a little bit ridiculous, right?
Right.
But that's people are like, it's my birthday. You have to like even I've had people who are like my age and they're like, it's my birthday month. You're like,
That's some girly shit.
it's
Not
not.
even just the month part, but like just making a whole thing out. And I'm not trying to talk down on women, but like that's
A little
just
bit.
girly shit. Like making a whole thing out of your birthday. I am a firm believer that
Yeah.
if you want something for your birthday as a man, you need to pay for it and make it happen yourself, and then you can invite whatever friends you want. They come. If they don't come, they don't come, because people have lives. But if you can't afford to make that happen, then you didn't work hard enough this year. You don't deserve a fucking birthday. Like,
Yes, but
it sucks for
also
me.
I don't
My
think it
birthday's
needs
in
to be that
April. It's at the
bad.
beginning of the year.
I don't think it has to be that mean, but yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Well, however you want to look at it, it's that way. Whatever softer, sugar-coated version, that you want. Sorry, I didn't have drizzle fucking powdered sugar and maple syrup all over it like you Canadians like.
You know what?
Apologize
You
at the end.
love the maple syrup that I brought you. Okay, so don't act as if
Okay,
that wouldn't turn the
to be
tide.
fair, Dino, I don't dislike any maple syrup. I put maple syrup in my spaghetti. Okay, like I'm not. You could have given me cheap fucking Aunt Jemima's. It's Canadian, and I wouldn't have asked questions because I would have known. I'm not stupid, but I wouldn't have questioned it. I wouldn't have been like, because I want it. I want some fucking maple syrup.
I gotta bring you a bigger one, and I gotta send one to Atlas because she was like, "I'm almost out," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's fair."
I think I finished mine like right away.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like from the moment opening it, it was gone later that day.
Yeah,
I took it and made pancakes that day.
I gotta.
When did you give it to him? His fucking
I
wedding back in
yeah,
January?
at his wedding. It took him 6 months. He was like sparingly using like one drop at a time. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal.
California shit. I
Yeah.
got it remain in my finger.
Well, you're in Ohio, so for you, you're like, I can find places that'll have maple syrup, but it won't be as good, but it'll be maple syrup.
We have
Whereas,
Maple Fest here. We have like Chardon,
yeah,
Ohio, which is like 20 minutes from here. Is like a maple, I don't know, oil field. I don't know what you call it.
I'll come down there wearing like all Canadian, like branded clothing, and they'll be like, I'm here to judge this contest that is a representative of Canada.
It's already over. It starts, I think, in like September, maybe November, October, somewhere around there. So you'd have to come in the fall next year.
No problem. That's a reasonable thing. I feel like we have a year to build me up as some sort of Canadian representative for things that belong in Canada, and you're doing them wrong. I'll just come and
I brought a Canadian ambassador.
Yeah, but I won't be an ambassador. I'll be a Canadian insulter. So I'm like, you guys sound horrible. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You won't believe that you're Canadian.
No, probably
because
not.
you're not apologizing, being extra polite.
Do you know how many times I've traveled and people are like, so where are you from in America? And I'm like, I'm actually Canadian. They're like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, yeah. Is it because I'm super fat? They're like, you're very fat. That's why I thought you were American.
No, that's not why. Because I know Canadians are fat. Look at all their food. Canadian bacon, Canadian maple syrup, flapjacks. Like y'all have just as shitty diet as we do. Poutine.
No. But you guys were known to be fat.
I don't know why we get that fucking rap because everybody's fat now.
But
maybe we were fat first, but like
you guys were fat first though.
Canada's always been fat. Look at y'all have all like for as long as we had the cheeseburger, y'all have always had flapjacks and poutine.
Yeah, that's true.
Like y'all are always fat too. Y'all are just quiet and polite because we're mean and in your face and waving a gun around. They're like, those motherfuckers are fat over there. So they were just insulting us because they were mad and jealous.
But we were trying to survive the winter, right? You guys were still hot, and you're like, pancakes, and it just got fatter, right?
In the South,
like, we need extra calories because it's so cold.
The thing is like, okay, in the South it gets hot. In the North it gets very cold. I'm not that far from you. And then the South, they're fat down there because we have gravy and biscuits, which is just liquid bread on soft bread. And then they're like, throw some sausage in it too. Like, have you ever had biscuits and gravy?
Bro, I will go through a bowl of biscuits and gravy. Like if you have like a not like a Tupperware, if you have a like a cooking pot filled with gravy, and then give me another cooking pot with biscuits stacked in them, I'll finish off 2 pots of food. No,
I'll
like
make you a nice Texas recipe when you come down. It's got jalapenos in it,
Jesus. Actually, you know what? Yeah.
and the gravy's actually kind of has an orange tint to it because I put hot sauce and like red
Mm.
pepper flakes and shit in it, so it's spicy. I'll make you a good one
Bro, this is the
next time it comes
problem.
down.
This is the problem is every time I start talking about cooking with you, it's like, oh man, if we ended up living together, we would just get 1,000 pounds each. We would be on that 1,000 pound life and be like, I don't know what happened. We just started frying cheese one day, and now we're just 1,000 pounds. That's just how it is.
I think we would have to adopt a strict Joe Rogan style like
Yeah,
routine because we would eat too much.
we would be 1 push-up for 1 piece of cheese. 1 push-up for 1 piece of
That's
cheese.
something I know about myself is I'm never going to adopt a healthy like diet. Like I can probably eat better more often, but I'm not going to be one of those like I'm a carnivore diet or a plant-based diet. No, I'm not going to do all that. Like
Listen.
like 3 to 4 days out of the week, I'm going to eat shit.
I will find it to be a personal success if I could just convince you to have sleeves on every episode. That'll be my own success. Okay, sir. So
I'm trying to get some color on the top half.
that's not how it works. It's the wintertime. You can't get color anywhere, sir.
There's lighting right here.
That's not how that works. Anyways, everyone, this has been what is it? Episode 3? No. Yeah. Episode 3 of Mental Health. We didn't really touch on our topic that we did for like half an hour.
Yeah,
which is more than you guys let us.
Dude, I looked up. I felt like we had been talking forever. I looked up. It's been 18 minutes. I was like, "Fuck, we're running out of shit to say."
Yeah, a little bit. But anyways, hey, we'll be back in a couple days. Are you back tomorrow?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm making yet. I gotta ask Jack.
That's all right. We're gonna surprise you guys on Saturday as well. We're gonna have hammered and cheese on Saturday at 8:30 again. And then Sunday's Generation Den, we're back for Life of Giants. So come check us out, everybody. Make sure you subscribe. Gene the Genetic Marvel, Stephanie Glue 22, and we will see you in a couple days.